Hi, I'm Jane Wilson. I'm a chef, I'm a chocolatier. You might have met me out at some special fundraising event where I was sampling chocolates. I'm here to solve a mystery for you. The question keeps coming up. People will say to me, well, can you tell me why when I melt chocolate it doesn't set up right? It's all sticky or it's streaked. Woo, that is a problem. Okay, let's explore what might be going on. When you read directions in articles, books, even videos, they almost all tell you to melt chocolate over steaming water. So here we go. We pour the chocolate in the bowl. I'm walking you through this whole process. So you turn on the heat and it steams and the chocolate melts. And that's going to work out all right if you're going to add the melted chocolate to cake batter or cookies, or maybe you're going to add egg yolk and cream and make a really rich chocolate mousse. However, let's work on the solution to that sticky streak stuff. I'm going to put on my pastry chef hat and we're going to get serious here. So, there's a traditional saying, you don't make candy on a rainy day. Why would that be? Well, we've melted the chocolate. We're lifting it off of the pot. What happens to all that steam from the simmering water? It whirls around your kitchen and it creates a rainy day right there. The problem is humidity. So let's move that aside and let me introduce you to a device that's going to be a tool that helps you. This is a barometer. The round dial shows the percent of moisture in the air. And like many barometers, this one has a temperature that measures the heat or cool in the atmosphere. These are two bits of information that are really important to have success with chocolate. The third bit of information is the temperature of the chocolate. Now, we're talking about real chocolate here that has cocoa butter in it. You know, there are lots of compounds on the market that are chocolate flavored, and many of them are white or pastel colors. They're fun to work with. They're easy to melt and mold, and they do not require tempering. Those of us who are professionals use temper machines. A temper machine has a heating element, a cooling fan, a thermostat, and a paddle and a turntable. It melts the chocolate to the right temperature. It stirs it to redistribute the cocoa butter crystals and cools it down, and it tells you when the temperature's right, and it holds the perfect temperature to work with chocolate. Even a home hobby unit can cost hundreds of dollars. So I've come up with a system of dry heat to melt chocolate. Enter the crock pot. You want one with a liner that comes out. Now the crock pot's going to heat, but it doesn't have a really good thermostat that's going to keep it from getting warmer than you want. You want a pan that fits in the crock pot. We're adding the chocolate and we're making sure that we're saving some of the chocolate. We'll talk about why later. So you've turned the crock pot on, you're heating it up. As soon as the chocolate melts, it will start gaining heat. I'm using a STEM thermometer. I often find them on the rack where the tools for grilling. It's not a meat thermometer. You are working with a temperature range of 80 to 120. Look for that thermometer and pick out one that's big enough that's easy to read. So once the chocolate started melting, and I even stir it with the stem of the thermometer. I'm leaving that there. I may put the lid on a bit to hold the heat. Once it reaches 110 degrees, you want to take it out and you want to set it on a towel. You want it to stay 110 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 5 minutes. Then to redistribute the cocoa crystals so that they don't separate and leave those streaks or those little bloomy white things on chocolate that can look like mold, you stir it while it cools down. You're watching the temperature. Now, here's where some magic comes in. When it's reached the 110 and it's set for 5 minutes, you add some chocolate that has been tempered and has not been remelted. We add that, it's called seeding, and here's the magic. It reminds the chocolate of how to get back to that glossy, crisp finish that we associate with really fine chocolates. So we're stirring, we're watching the temperature. You can turn and work a little bit with something else, but don't abandon the chocolate. If it cools off too much, you gotta start again. So we've got it down to 90 degrees, and adding the seed chocolate helps it cool off. So once it gets down to under 100 degrees, quit adding chocolate, because you don't want to have any unmelted chocolate when you start working with it. If there's a clump left, get it out of there, put it aside. So you'll get good at this. You'll get so you can just gauge about how much chocolate to add. So now you've got the chocolate melted. It's 90 degrees. You don't want it to cool off too fast. You've turned the crock pot off, so you can put a cloth in your pot and keep it warm and extend the working time you've got. So the 3 crucial bits of information now at this point is raise the heat and melt the chocolate to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, take it off the heat, add the seed, play the magic, and keep stirring. If I'm in a hurry and I'm going to do a bunch of chocolate, I might even have a second pan. I might pour it from pan to pan. When it gets down to 90 degrees, you can start working. You can dip truffles, you can pour slabs of bark and add nuts and fruits. Once it's cooled down to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, stop working with it. If you're going to have some other things to do with the chocolate that day, put it back on the heat and start the process again. If you finished what you're going to do with the chocolate that day, take a piece of parchment paper and empty the melted chocolate out of the pan. I usually have some toasted nuts and maybe some dried cranberries, and I'll make some bark out of that bit of chocolate that's left. So, if this has been a help, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's more good ideas coming. We're going to paint shortbread cookies with natural colors from saffron, berry juice, and herbal tinctures. If you email me a request, I'll send you the recipe for that rich chocolate mousse I mentioned. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.